Yay, we're live.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Bush baby.
Alright, we gotta
That
do
should
our,
be
we gotta do our drawing bush baby.
No,
Was that like a kangaroo or something?
no, bush baby. Baby likes a bush. Let's do a drawing for what?
The gift card?
Oh, we're doing that again.
Yeah,
I thought we just did that.
it's 2 months ago. Alright, let's do this. Can you plug live stream at Oxford, please? And thank you.
My phone's dead.
What's your name?
You posted it.
Okay. Alright. 2 seconds after. Okay, I'm gonna go live on Ox real quick. I say let's take it down to the last. Actually, let's just do the full.
What have you done?
Well, let's just do this stuff here.
Cool.
Okay. Ready?
Are we still doing Sideshow gift cards?
That's a good brother.
Okay, because we're talking a lot of shit about Sideshow lately. I feel like we should just not
Bad
give
Toy
them
Store?
our money. Yeah.
Big Bad Toy Store. Can you check? Can you make sure they do gift cards before we look like dummies? I'm almost certain that they do, but. I don't know.
What's wrong?
Are you bored? Do you hate us?
Like, it's basically what I did by myself in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Jerk off the phone. Fine.
That's all, the only way I get to bed. That hat matches that shirt almost exactly.
Doesn't it?
That's crazy.
Like the
It
color.
matches my phone case too.
Hey, dude,
I'm branded, man. All wrapped out.
do you have a trademark and everything?
Of course we do. International.
Okay.
What did you find, Zach?
I'm on their website right now.
Yeah, or you can be bitch boy.
Big Bad gift cards.
I googled Big Bad Toy Store gift cards and all that came up was payments options.
84.
Big bad.
I'm gonna find it. It's just-
Big bad cable.
Big bad cake.
God, but just saying, we're not doing the buy the donor challenge here, just saying.
They do not.
They do not. Okay. Explain why.
Amazon gift card thing.
There you go.
That was on Amazon, right?
All those spells.
Amazon's okay.
Sideshow.
I mean, most people collect 6 gals, so
Evil Bay, maybe?
Sideshow. That's not bad, but then they're forced to pay Evil Bay prices, even with the gift card.
Well,
How about we just get with the winner to see what it?
Well, we just asked them tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go live though. Well, then we're not gonna give you the gift card because you owe us $25 for promo your Instagram. Alright, let's turn this because I want to see my ugly mug.
Me either.
3, 2. Alright, guys, we're live. We have a gift card that we promised. Wow, that was. Anyway, so
Suggested.
the way to win this gift card was to participate on the page or buy stuff from other Ox members.
Yeah,
So let's do that.
how was mine? Like, not a lot of shit.
And this is, we're removing and we're doing last man standing, so.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Durga? We're about to record right now, so we're doing this drawing before we record. What's up, Eric? We have this many people, I was worried that I didn't set it to remove after each one. Dean, you just lost one. Ooh, we just lost two.
What?
Sorry. Ooh, three. That was just two.
How many people are in it?
It ended up being a whole page, single space, so like 30 something, I think.
Don't tell me anymore, just tell me the one.
You won.
This fucking guy.
Finger hurts from pressing this button. I'm ready for this. Everyone splits $1 gift card.
First world problems.
Ooh, Dean, you got one.
I said, don't tell me.
Sorry.
You fucking guy.
Fernando, ooh, PJ, sorry, buddy.
I should have more than 3. I bought a lot of shit.
Did you log it?
Yeah.
Did you log it? Well, I think you had some that went out before. King Zachary is watching.
Noise.
I need that mosquito leaf print for the studio. Zach.
Mosquito leaf life.
He said, why the shit ain't my name on the wheel? It was for active members and people who bought from other Ox members and logged it, buddy. Dang, Zach still have. Oh, I'm watching serious.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Alright, so let's see who's left. Oh, if I click it, it does it again. Buddy, Jason, Eric, Greg. Oh, Greg's out. Sorry.
I was gonna say, Greg can't win again. That dude wins everywhere.
Ooh, Zach, you're out, buddy.
Do I have any more of that?
Alright, so it's Eric, Richard, Jason, and Buddy. Buddy bought a ton of shit this month, or these past 2 months.
In terms of dollar amount, he bought the most.
Yeah.
Alright, Jason, Richard, and Eric.
Kind of a Richard Method.
Alright, so it's Jason and Richard.
He's upset.
Ooh, congratulations, Richard. for
Yeah.
winning.
Hell yeah. Richard, you deserve it, buddy.
Greg, Black Lives Matter, buddy.
What are you gonna buy me with that gift card?
Yeah, what are you gonna buy me with that gift card? Alright, Richard, we'll talk to you about the gift card off of stream, but congratulations, buddy.
We love you.
How you feeling about it? Finish. Alright, cool. Now we can start.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Collecting Wiggly.
I'm 100% down to start the intro. Because I have no ideas about the cold open this week. I draw a blank.
That's the whole idea about Cold Opens. You just start recording when we're
It's
talking.
not improv, my friend. The Office, they have cold open, but it's not like that.
Well, that's not the only way you can do a Cold Open.
I don't know how cold opens work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be scripted. That's the point.
It's not scripted.
We should just start it with the Stone Cold theme song with the glass shattering.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I mean, dude, his episode of if you just press play right there and I start talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hollins, that would have been perfect.
Just don't go through us.
Motherfucker. I'm about to leave.
Oh, maybe. Are we blinking here?
No. Yes.
All right, chat. Sorry, we had to do that giveaway for a second. Your job, Zach, is to keep an eye on the chat. Let us know if you percent.
I have the chat here.
All right, both of y'all's jobs.
Fernando said, yo.
Sorry, Fernando, you didn't win anything, but you won the best post on OSR I've ever seen.
This show's hilarious.
That was pretty fun.
I'm surprised he didn't get booted from it.
Ready?
Yes.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
My God, you guys are so quiet.
You're definitely gonna need to bring it up a little
Like
bit.
way high. I'm not even gonna listen to that. That was poor. That was poor on both of those parts.
I'm trying not to do my booming voice thing here.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
There, that's it, my guy.
That is it, my guy. My team, tell me what you think.
I said my guy.
Well, I was going to say it, and you said it. And I was already like committed. My brain had sent the signals to my body.
Yeah, no, I get it, but don't ever fucking.
How did it sound?
This actually didn't sound that good.
Really?
Yeah, he sounded good. That was it.
I'm gonna play it through the speakers. When you talk, make sure to aim it. Mic check, mic check.
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 Mic check, mic check. Damn.
It's me. I'm the problem.
Idiot.
I'll fix it.
Project.
One more time.
Let's project. Anybody remembers that commercial?
Which one is
Ready?
it?
Mic check, mic check.
Mike, are you there?
Hello, hello, hello.
Mic check, mic check.
You can have fun.
Mic check, mic check.
Mike, are you there?
Hello,
That sounded
hello,
good.
Mic check, mic check. Alright, so if I do this, it means you need to bring it up, this, bring it down, and this means we're gonna a hard stop after people don't talk too long.
He only does it when you're talking. He never does it when he's
Because I know exactly when I need to stop talking.
I'm just saying he doesn't warn us when he's gonna shut the fuck up. I'm leaving.
So much hostility in this recording.
We have 3 Zachs on today's recording.
I know, that's too many.
To oversimplify things, I'll go by Zach, you'll go by Zachary, and Rainer, of course, just goes by Rainer.
Yeah, the illustrious Rainer.
Anything extra, it's the illustrious Rainer.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Illustrious Rainer here.
I'm Zachary.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly.
I'm Zach. I'm Zach. I'm Zach.
It's the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's true.
We got a jam-packed show for you guys. We're going to talk about the new D23 cap in detail. HasLab Unicron was given an extension, and some really cool news from Jazzing Dioramas.
Dude, a lot of cool.
Before we get started, Dean, all of our best shows start with a very special segment. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's
New this week.
Exactly, you knew it's fine. You didn't have to commit to that.
New this week.
I am hurt.
I'm sorry.
What you can do this week? So I just got the SH Figure Arts Goku Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Blue SH Figure Arts.
What do you think?
I mean, it's good. It's really good, but it's. I mean, all the Gokus that came before were good. So it's just the new one, and I don't have to have like a. I can have my base form Goku and the Super Saiyan God Goku. So.
How are they doing scales?
They're pretty accurate. On
Yeah, I
it.
think the only figure that's not really in scale is the dragon. They shrunk that down like
Yeah.
Because I know it was the Super Saiyan. I think it was Super Saiyan 3 Goku with a really long hair. He was a lot shorter than the other Gokus.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
That one was a lot shorter.
This one's perfect. Yeah, the whole line together is fine. If you put them with like Legends or something, they're not technically 6-inch scale. They're
Yeah.
kind of like their own scale. But no, his scale's perfect. What about you guys?
So I got a new acquisition this week. Unfortunately, it got held up in customs over Labor Day weekend, so I don't have it here today. But it is the Core Play successor figure, otherwise known as Sylvanas Twinwonder from World of Warcraft.
Nice.
So
very cool.
Yeah, so you're a big.
You got a Revan mask here on the table? Is
yes,
that a
I
new figure,
do.
or-
I do. I have my Zakoja Revan mask here for cosplay. I was working on a cosplay outfit for him, but I just thought it'd be a neat little tidbit to show since I don't have Sylvanas with me.
Yeah, new this week, not new next week, Rainer.
I'm sorry.
We'll be like
I don't
6
control
months before it
protocols.
comes New this quarter. What do you got, Zach?
Actually, I unintentionally brought what I got. Like, I just meant to show you guys these figures, but this is my newest acquisition that wasn't held up.
You got all these?
No, this, just this her. Just
Oh.
her. No, this
I was
one.
like, God damn, he's
That would kill me.
crazy.
No, there's a Galadriel. I think, oh, it's something reminiscent of the Lord of the Rings, but completely other direction. This is a great figure. I just like it because it comes with wings and just that African American like portrayal of an angelic figure. And you don't see that too much.
That's true. What line is this?
But this is Mythic Legions.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk more Mythic Legions later in the show. I know Zachary is a big collector of that line.
Yeah, it's an audio podcast, so you gotta let people know what you're talking about.
Is that what you got this week?
Just that. No, just that and yeah, that's it, man.
Kind of an interesting week for me. I got the GX77 Gypsy.
Nice.
Really cool figure, but
Oh.
I feel like I was really spoiled by the NECA 18-inch version.
There you go.
Oh, no.
It's really, really nice.
I remember.
Now the GX77, wonderful figure, perfect paint apps. I mean, those Japanese figures, they don't leave the factory with any sort of anything wrong.
You don't fuck around with giant robots.
And yeah, they know the giant robots, I must say. A little annoyed with some of the parts, like when you put in the chain swords, you know, there's the little parts of the arm that open to fit the chain sword. Those are kind of like fragile, and to get them to line up right is kind of annoying. Lots of moving parts, certain parts that come off a little easier than I'd like them to, but
That's kind of how I remember.
once you get it posed up, you know, it's pretty nice. But I have to say, just the height of the NECA one, it's just so amazing. Like, it's like a big thing.
The presence, yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot of presence to it.
You know, I saw one pop up in one of our local groups. I was actually debating whether or not to pick it up.
That's the one that I bought. There's a second one that came up this week that was
Yeah.
like twice the price. It was sealed. And the only thing with the NECA one is the guy still hasn't been able to get to a storage unit. It's in a different city. He moved from San Marcos to Austin.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has the swords, and if he doesn't, I think I'll like the GX77 more. Rainer also gave me a Pacific Rim book, which is really cool. It's like behind the scenes, how it was made kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much my pickup this week. Kind of a cool week, but you know, just one figure.
Yeah.
I have on Friday the Medicom Ultra Detail Stitch coming that was released
Yeah.
about a week ago, and from all the pictures, it looks really great. I can't see any reviews on YouTube, so I'll probably review it for the channel.
How big is it? Like,
It's like a tiny little,
so-
kind of like the Disney Infinity scale,
Okay.
maybe a little bit smaller.
Huh.
But it's Medicom, so I think the paint apps and the sculpting's gonna be a little crisper.
Yeah.
But I like to review things that not a lot of people have reviewed, so we'll probably see a review on the channel once I get it. Plus, it's pretty easy to review because it's just a tiny little statue.
Just static. Roll.
So, new pre-orders this week. The Sith Trooper from Hot Toys was given a regular release, which is $235. That comes October to December 2019. I think the only difference with this is the packaging and the price. I think the Sith Trooper price was like $300 if I remember correctly, or like $280. So a little bit of a savings there. October to December 2019 is a pretty quick turnaround for this. It looks cool. The weapons are cool, but I think it's one of those figures that if I was to get it for some crazy reason, which I know I'm not, I'd have to wait to see the movie to see if this trooper actually does anything, because lately it seems like they make a bunch of really cool original designs that either do nothing or let us down at the film.
Yeah, like Rogue One, with short troopers and tank troopers.
Phasma.
Who don't let Brian from Cisco Scavenger talk about the
Yeah, I couldn't agree with
Oh,
you
I
on
love the
that.
short trooper.
I know you have one, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, they
I got it in hopes of like, yeah, this thing's gonna be cool, and then
They just get
I
shot.
don't see them. You see 'em like twice.
yeah.
Now the Death Trooper gets a lot of screen time,
Yes.
and they brought them back in both
Rebels.
Rebels and now again in the
Mandalorian.
The
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I feel like that value is going to keep going up until the point Hot Toys is going to release it under, say, a Mandalorian line
Right.
or a different line. But yeah, that's a cool figure, but I
So-
can't see myself getting this.
yeah, this is like another one of those. Like you said, Phasma. It's like, why?
Yeah, you just have these days. You just kind of have to see the movie before you make any buy.
Yeah, and then all the first order figures are like a dime a dozen now anyway. Like no one wants them. So
Yeah.
I feel like this hype is going to be really short lived, unless this Sith Trooper is like, I don't even know what it would have to do in order for me to be like,
And
I want one.
there's nothing really as unique about it, though. I mean, it's basically a first order trooper with red armor.
Well, the armor is all original.
It's totally different, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I
Even the
haven't looked at
maps
it hard
and
enough.
everything, it's
It's all different.
State of Star Wars Rainer doesn't know about this. Taurus put out a 1-to-1 scale damage Mark 50 helmet, and I think it looks really great. It supposedly plays like this recording, the Tony Stark recorded for Pepper Potts. 400 buys use that. That comes out Q2 2020. Most places that I've seen have it for like a $60, $70 deposit. And looking at some of the past things that Taurus has made, I think they're a really nice company. And I mean, $400 is pretty expensive, but when you have the lights, the sounds, and the fact that it's licensed, I'm not saying it's justified, but it does look really great. I think like 200 maybe.
You could buy a speaker kit on eBay for like $2.99.
Because that's what we talk about on the podcast. Well, apparently if you want to buy a speaker kit, you can buy one of those, whatever that is.
Yeah, because I was looking at gutting the Stormtrooper helmet, the Black Series, and putting in like a speaker unit. They're not expensive at all.
Yeah.
Those whole unit. Yeah, you could get the really expensive ones, but that's like two-way. It's like talking and shit. This isn't. It's just press play and hear an audio recording.
Don't they have some of those ones that you can like hook up to your phone and stuff for those helmets?
Yeah.
Like a Bluetooth.
Yeah, and those are getting to like the $200 range. But I mean, I get it. It's a prop and it has lights and sound, but to add that much to it, it's not justified at all. Like,
Grinds my gears, huh? Dean, you wanted to talk about this, the 1/6 kit Polar Duncan Vizsla? What even is that? Those are words that I've never seen together.
I actually don't even know what this is, but
very adamant that it was on the show sheets.
no, I just added it to the show sheet. The only reason I thought it was cool, it's from a Netflix movie. The movie is called Polar, and the character is Duncan Vizsla. He's played by Mads Mikkelsen. It's a good-looking figure. I don't know anything about the movie. I guess I'll watch it. I guess it warrants a figure. I guess enough people wanted one. But I just think it's cool to see someone like 1/6 Kit delving into like Netflix movies. Like,
well, the 1/6 kit, they're not making it. They're just like
okay,
supplying.
Okay, well, who's making it?
It's supposed to be your research buddy. You wanted this on the show.
I just saw 1/6.
Yeah, 1/6 kit. They'll make a post like that, and then like you go to their website, and then it's like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whoever. It's just cool to see because there's like characters. Like, did you ever see the Netflix movie Mother?
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's one of the coolest sci-fi movies I've seen in a long time.
Oh, with the robot, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And it'd be cool to see a company make like that figure or
Or like an Ex Machina figure.
yeah, just something from like a Netflix movie that's maybe not mainstream enough to get like Hot Toys to make. I know they did like Daredevil and stuff, but that's like Marvel, but
Yeah.
something that's not mainstream enough or doesn't have the big budget to license out their shit. Since it's just cool to see like a company making like Netflix figures, I guess.
that is
That's
my
the only reason.
final studio.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only reason I wanted to put it on the show sheet is
I thought you watched the show.
no, I'm going to now. I like Mads Mikkelsen. So. I just thought it was interesting.
Have you guys seen the show?
Polar?
Yeah.
I think the movie.
The movie is a movie, right?
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Do you like the show?
Never saw the show this time.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. You've never seen that prop, whatever that is. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it cool? It looks cool.
Yeah, dude, it's basically like just Netflix's version of John Wick.
Oh.
And
That's
you
nasty.
guys ever seen it at all?
Oh,
Damn, dude. I mean, it's like, it has more sexual content because it's Netflix.
hey.
Okay. But it's really good. The kill scenes are really cool. And I don't know, is it cool to talk spoilers?
No,
No, don't
How
have.
about actors who are in it?
Is that a spoiler?
I'm not gonna say what happens to him.
Don't say the actor.
It's
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
looks like he has like these cool gloves. I don't know what they do, but they have like lasers on them. It looks cool. Like maybe like
Like,
kill lasers.
all the death scenes are, they just go all out. That's all.
Is it kind of like? Did you ever see Equilibrium with Christian Bale?
Christian Bale?
Yeah, it's like a futuristic Matrix kind of movie. It just has like the coolest fight scenes and death scenes.
I haven't seen that.
It's badass. Check it out. Anyway,
Well, that's that.
that's a huge thing.
1,000 toys put out their Master Chief order. 125 buys you that. April 2020. Kind of
Wow.
pricey for the Chief.
That's really pricey.
Yeah.
I could see myself spending 80 max.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looks amazing. Don't get me wrong.
it looks great. It looks a little too stylized. Still looks cool.
Yeah. 'Cause he's over, I think it's the
Halo
Mjolnir
1?
Mark 5.
Is it? I thought it was Halo 1.
It looked Halo 1, but they called it the Mark 5. And I thought he was like a Mark 3.
Yeah, he was at Mark 4, I think, in Halo 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it may be his new
It
armor
looks
for the
really,
game.
really great though. Posability looks amazing. The way
Yeah.
he holds the rifle looks good, but
It's just.
125.
I guess I'm gonna have to see it in hand to justify that price, because unless it's like because Master Chief is huge,
Kind of.
so in 6-inch scale he should be like 8 inches,
Uh-huh.
maybe
Yeah.
9. So unless he's like got some heft to that figure, I like maybe something like a Storm Collectibles that size.
That'd be amazing.
That would be cool. I would probably drop 125 on that.
Do you know what accessories are coming with this?
That's what I was about to say. I can't think of.
So
He's
the
got-
accessories.
He's got to have his auto rifle, though. I mean,
It's
that's
5
just-
pairs of hands, 2 M60 pistols, a pistol mount parts,
Hold on.
MA5B assault rifle, and a Covenant energy sword. 7 inches tall, 7.08 inches tall. Looks like 6-inch scale. And some plastic, some die-cast inner frame. This is from Halo 1. It's the Mjolnir Mark 5 armor. So that is from Halo 1. No Cortana, which seems like a
Always.
pretty. Let me just scroll through. No Cortana that I can see. Yeah, it seems like a waste, especially in Halo 1. He couldn't dual wield pistols, so it's kind of weird for him to have just 2 pistols. I don't know why he had 2 pistols.
I think he had the same armor in Halo 2, though.
No, right at the beginning of the game they upgraded.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
Fucking.
He just
Star, what is it? Rip on Ranger? Yeah.
Stop there.
Star Ace put out a Kong 2.0 figure. This one, they're saying in the marketing that it's a little bit bigger than the 1.0.
It looked pretty cool.
$240 buys you that. It comes with a diorama base, and it's from the final battle where you have the ship rudder on the chain.
I never saw the movie. Spoiler.
It's pretty dope. I will say this is an easy pass. The first one, I had it. It could not stand on its own. If you didn't get the diorama, it came with the regular without the diorama and the deluxe version. I don't know how the people who got the regular were able to stand it, because like the whole figure was, well, you spend that much on a statue. But 240 seems a bit high. I think they're doing this, so they call this a Star Ace 2.0, but it's my understanding that X Plus made these and Star Ace imported them under their brand name because of some licensing things with King Kong. But it's pretty much, the first one was touted to be part of the 30 centimeter, which is the same series as the Godzilla that I have, but that Kong was way too short in scale with that Godzilla to the scale that they should have been when they were going to fight eventually.
Yeah.
Because he was too big for the movie, because obviously he has to grow to fight Godzilla, because Godzilla was massive. And he was not big enough to fight. It was just a really weird scale, so I think that's why they're redoing it in a bigger scale with a different diorama base, but I don't know. It seems like an easy pass for me. I had the first one, and I don't think the first one was worth anywhere near this price point, so I can't imagine the second one
Yeah.
with, and the first one had a really weird, like, coloring on the butt. They painted the butt like they did the chest, but it has fur. You know, apes have like some bear skin on certain parts of their bodies.
Yeah.
They painted the butt like that, like the bear skin, but it had fur, so it was just like really, really weird.
Maybe they're just sitting down. Like a dusty.
True. And dusty. So yeah, that was the thing. But yeah, so that's coming out. It comes out Q4 2019.
The first one seemed to be more, like aggressive. Like he just
Like
looked
a more badass pose.
Yeah, and then this one, I was like, it seemed like a downgrade to me. And I don't even like King Kong that much, but even I was like, why?
Yeah. The D23 Captain America, we talked about it last week that it was released, and I have to say this figure is pretty bad. First off, they added this little spacer to the neck to raise it like maybe like an eighth of an inch,
Mhm.
and it is just really terrible because they did that, but they didn't change anything else with the proportions or the tailoring of the suit.
Mhm.
So the head comes up like a little too far, like we see in a lot of these custom figures that are coming out. The shoulder buckles that are on the, I guess like the trap shield holder thing on his back, those like on the Civil War and the Age of Ultron, they look really good. Like they actually look like buckles. On the D23, they're like really tiny and they're just like kind of glued on. They don't really look like they could function at all. They're just like a visual accessory. The shield in the film, when his shield got damaged, he was able to hold it in a certain position with the straps and the star in relation.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the shield on the Hot Toys one is like rotated like 30 degrees because the way he holds the shield with the damage is like completely inaccurate to the film. A lot of people were really upset about that. And the shields are both plastic instead of die-cast.
Jesus.
And at D23, it's my understanding that that one retailed for $300. You know, the secondary market is going for like $1,000 to $3,000, which is quite a bit. And a lot of people are very upset about that. So I have to say that's like a lot. Well, the thing is, a lot of people are saying, oh, and then of course the star in the chest is just all wrong, and the that scaled plating that he has, it just looks terrible. Some people have photoshopped like what it should look like based on the costume, and it looks totally different. And a lot of people are saying, well, don't worry, the in-game release is going to be better. But I'm willing to bet that if they got this far on this figure, with the next one coming out Q2 2020, they probably have these parts made already. And then we talked to Eric in our group chat, and he was saying that, you know, they have to upgrade it, it's that bad. And it's like, you know, every once in a while, Hot Toys will make an upgrade in the middle of production. Deadpool, for example, when the wrists were cut up from the gauntlets, they added a wrist extension and kind of did like a QC fix type thing. But that was because that was like a real structural issue with the figure. Yoda, it seems like last minute they added in like a little bit of white hair on the first Empire Strikes Back Yoda from Hot Toys. But big things like this, like major things, this close to the release, I can't imagine that they're going to do that. Especially since they've already gone back and changed the head.
The only thing I can think of is like maybe fix the shields, or at least make them die cast.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if because the damage is so sharp, like the scale of that, if they can't do it in die cast, it won't translate well. That's the only thing I can think of. But a lot of people were really disappointed when they've seen other collectors in hand picks. I've seen like 2 or 3 people say that, oh, mine looks better than this person's pictures, but those 2 or 3 people haven't posted pictures of their figures, so it's all hearsay. But sure, there were
trying to convince themselves.
there were some conscious decisions by Hot Toys to add the adapter to make, you know, the shield held a certain way. And I think that all those did not yield the highest quality figure. And, you know, especially for it being such an exclusive figure, a D23 exclusive, and being at a more premium price point, I think it was like $20 more than the regular release, it's kind of annoying. So that is that. You guys have anything you want to add to it?
Annoying, putting it mildly, I would say, based on what you just said.
A lot of people are saying that, you know, they're just really bummed because they were willing to pay the aftermarket prices to get one, but after seeing that, they're like, I don't even know if I want the regular one. So we've ripped on that cat figure from the pricing standpoint a long time ago, and, you know, being that it was so expensive, I would have hoped they would have justified it with a ton of new parts and like really accurate parts, but it seems like they kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, it's a big problem when your convention exclusive hampers the sales potentially of your line figure.
Yep, Yoda is now shipping from Sideshow. That is the episode 2 Yoda, which is really cool.
Okay.
Oh, where is it?
No, I was going to ask if it was the Frank Oz or the CG version.
Yeah, it's the CG version from episode 2.
Oh, wow.
It would be
Came
dope.
out of the Frank Oswald.
It would be
Oh, it
dope.
did?
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't that good.
Really?
No, I like the Kenner one better. I think it looks more like Yoda, the puppet at least. We also saw some in-hand pics of Cersei from Game of Thrones from our good old buddy Richard, and I will say definitely better than what we were shown from the sort of like candid blogger pics, but not a home run. I will say better, but not, I think, compared to the prototype, I don't think it lives up to the final.
I think maybe the lighting was a tad better on Richard's shots, but yeah, it's almost as like a totally different woman.
Which Cersei is it?
What's that?
Which Cersei is it?
Oh, season
It's
8.
from season 8 with the black
Oh, wow.
dress.
Yeah, which is like our coolest outfit.
Pixie
Yeah.
Girl.
I was like, sweet, and then I was like, oh no.
Yeah, Richard's picks were far better than the ones that we were commenting on last
Yeah.
week. Shuri is imminent arrival at sideshows. A lot of people are excited to get her. People are already inquiring about potential body swaps, so good luck with that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
There is this third-party Wakanda King outfit that's been circulating that people have gotten this week, and I have to say it looks really bad. So it's a body without a head with the outfit, and it comes with feet and sandals. And everyone that I've seen that's gotten it have said that the ball joint for the feet is too small for the ball joint in the legs, so it's really loose, which is an easy fix. Furniture, future floor polish, or blue tack, or whatever. Super easy fix. But the bigger issue is that the body isn't the same skin tone as the feet and the hands. So anytime you kind of get it anywhere, you realize like it's just a regular colored body. When they should have gone with like an African American colored body.
It's literally like a tan body.
It looks that way. It might be like slightly
Less.
slightly less harsh the contrast, but from all the pictures I've seen, it just looks like a generic,
Jesus.
true type clone. And the worst part is I've seen pictures of third-party head sculpts on that body, and it has no neck.
Yeah.
And also it's super short compared to the Hot Toys Panther. Now, some people are saying that is because they're using a third-party sculpt, but the thing is the third-party sculpt, it's my understanding that sculpt is pretty similar in dimension to the Hot Toys one, and I know Justin's collection mentioned on his group that the Hot Toys had a special adapter. That's maybe why they chose to do it like that. But I can't imagine that making a huge difference. And so a lot of people are looking at, I think what they call is the black gang hood body, to switch everything over, including the head and the outfit.
Yeah, because the outfit looks fine.
It looks fantastic. But
As a package.
when you add the third-party head to it, it really
it's
does not look well. So we'll see. I know Justin said he was going to put up a video on his YouTube channel showing it off and maybe some fixes for it. So we'll stay tuned for that. And of course, the Metacom Ultra Detail figure, which is coming up this Friday. Hasbro updates Unicron was extended to October 6th. As of the time of this recording, they have 5,655 buyers out of 8,000.
A bunch of bastards.
Now, that is really weird.
It's how tall is it gonna be?
27 inches, if I remember correctly. Now,
just fucking.
first off, you drop this figure and you tell people they have 30 days to buy it. And I imagine, maybe not everybody that bought it, but I imagine that there was a number of people that in order to buy this within 30 days made drastic moves of their collection. I know if I have like a figure that I see in a group and it's like a good deal, I will start selling figures like crazy to get that thing if I need to. And I'm wondering how many people were in that position where either they were borrowing money or selling things they maybe didn't want to sell that would have not done that had they known they had this extension coming. That's the first thing. The second thing is it kind of ruins the whole idea of HasLab if you can just arbitrarily extend deadlines like for no reason. Cookie Monster didn't get an extension, and I think it's obvious it didn't because it was way, way far from meeting goal. But with the HasLab first project, the Barge, they were like very, very serious that this would not get an extension, even if they were just a little bit off.
This seems like they want to make it or they've already started making it.
Yeah,
They were like, oh, people will do it, and they started making it. And then when not enough people start,
they're like, oh, we're
bought
gonna
in, they were like,
extend it.
oh, yeah, just extend it, it's fine.
Now, the thing that really upsets me is some people were talking, and I think OSR, they showed this off, and they're like, do you want this? Do you hope that this gets funded? I'm like, no, I absolutely hope it doesn't. Someone called me out like, oh, you don't want to see your fellow collectors get a cool figure they want. It's like, no, that's not it. I think things like this need to fail so that Hasbro can adjust it. Because when they brought the Unicron to SDCC, it's not like they just started working on that on Monday and brought it on Thursday.
Yeah,
They had been working on this for a
fully fleshed
long time. This was a complete figure ready to go, transformed, designed, printed, painted, etc. If they would have let people know that they were going to do this and give them a much greater heads up throughout the process and been more transparent, I think you would have seen much more people being able to commit to this if they knew, hey, in 6 months, Hasbro's gonna drop a Unicron, it's gonna be about $500. I think that that's a huge mistake that they made. And I think it's a huge mistake that they don't offer interest-free payment plans. They pretty much have you pay for it all at once.
Yeah, I hope.
And yeah, they hold your money hostage. So I really don't think it's a good system. And even with this one, it was my understanding based on the terms and conditions, if you signed up, like let's say you signed up day one, they charge your card $500 within the first 7 days as a hold, and then they refunded it until the thing was completed or not completed. It was weird when I read it. Maybe I didn't read it right. Maybe if you were a HasLab participant, you could email me, zach@collectingmedia.com, if that was the case. But that's what I read, and that's what a lot of people on Facebook were saying about the Unicron and the Cookie Monster. They were getting holds on their accounts for the amount of $500, which is just really odd. So I don't like it. We have a recording here from Seth. We call it Transformers Talk. And Seth is going to talk about a third-party Unicron option from a company called Zeta Toys that might pique your interest if you want this figure but don't want to pay $500 plus for it. It's good recording so far. Yeah, if you have anything you want to say, just interject a little bit more forcefully because
Yeah.
I really want to get you talking more on the podcast.
Yeah.
Ryan, you do.
Shut up.
All right, 3. Oh yeah, let's get the snacks going. Are those mooncakes?
All loud sounds.
Damn.
Damn.
That was a long time.
I don't know.
I miss those. Holy crap.
3, 2, 1. All right, so this is what Seth gave us. A little bit of ASMR for us.
Hey guys, it's Seth. Bringing to you a new segment called Transformer Talk with me. So Zeta Toys has announced that they are going in Unicron. As y'all have heard in earlier shows, obviously HasLab is crowdfunding their possible Unicron. But it looks like Zeta Toys will also be entering the fray with a 19-inch tall Unicron, and the price rumored to be about $200 to $250. Overall, between the digital renders and the prototype, it looks like this should be a lot cleaner transformation, and probably a worthy competitor to HasLab's Unicron if it even comes out. Overall, I think this will be a huge hit with Transformer collectors like myself. And I'm looking forward to seeing it come out sometime within the next year. Thanks. Bye.
I can edit that a little bit. But 3. How's the chat going? We got anyone in the chat?
No.
3, 2, 1. And we're back. Seth, thank you so much for Transformers Talk.
Insightful.
Yeah. Seth knows his shit when it comes to Transformers. That dude has a massive collection. So
Yeah.
if you're considering Zeta Toys, maybe next week when Seth comes back on, you can tell us where you can order that.
Yeah, that's
If you
pretty
like.
cool. It's a little shorter, but half the price, maybe even less.
Yeah, and Seth was saying that the way it transforms, there's less kibble, which is like kind of like bits that are just leftover bits attached to the figure. Which the Unicron one is basically like
All kibble.
Yeah, on the back it's like entire plates worth of
Yeah.
kibble.
Yeah,
So-
Hasbro sucks. Let's just get that out there.
Jazz Ink Dioramas is
Just busy.
a wonderful company, and they have a few things that they're working on and a few projects that they're starting. First and foremost, about them, they're an artist project company, so they make really small batches specifically for customers. So each product that they're making now comes with a personal nameplate saying that you're the owner of that project. And it's really cool. These are super low number things. We're talking like less than 50, very small numbers, and they're really well done. Customer service is fantastic. On Saturday, they showed that they added the roll bar details to their 6-scale Batmobile. They also were working on the seats, and they added the gas cap, and they're finally ready to build a full 1/6 scale prototype, the BBS Batmobile. And they said that they should have that in about 4 weeks. I don't know if that's 4 weeks painted or 4 weeks printed, but that's really cool. And they said they learned a lot from their previous smaller prototype that they're going to be able to translate to the full 6 scale model. So that's really cool.
Nice.
That one is going to be a really nice project for a lot of people. They also showed off they're calling it the Iron Scavenger. This is a Vulture figure, which is based on the prototype from Hot Toys. Now, Vulture has 2 main flying suits in the film. one that he wears for most of the film, which is like obviously super huge, but the final battle one is like way bigger than the one he wears for most of the film. The one that Yost is working on is the one he wears for more of the film, so it's a little bit smaller, but it still comes in at 4 foot for the wingspan, which is huge. He's looking at a price. Yeah, it's massive. He's looking at a price of $500 to $600, which includes a 6-scale body, a fabric outfit, a cast parts, moving parts, a dynamic stand, and that needs 50 people in order to get off the ground, no pun intended. I feel really good about that one. No, I feel really good about that one.
Kill yourself.
And so if you want that, let him know. I'm sorry, I was just like really, as my brain
You
told
were
my
so
mouth to say it,
excited.
I was like, this is gonna be fantastic.
It was.
They are also working on a 1966 Batmobile that's going to run $999 to $1,280 US dollars, and that is also needs 50 people. And there's going to be some resin parts, some metal parts, and that one does require a $100 deposit because it is like a pretty big commitment to do.
Yeah.
And again, these are small batch products. They're made by an artisan and his father, just as a hobby. So
Yeah.
he's got a lot of different projects he's working on, but these are the real big ones that he's providing some major updates on.
Well, another project I heard he was working on was, in the Dark Knight when Batman goes to like his bat suit and it like opens
It's called the Armory.
The Armory, thank you. I wrote cloth.
Yeah, if I sounded a little confused on last segment, Dean put a piece of paper on my face of Batman closet from TDK. I'm like, the fuck does that even mean? Like Bruce Wayne's closet? What is that?
Coming out of the closet.
It's like, he puts his suit in there. Yeah,
The hangers.
the armory. He's making an armory, which I guess is
I think he's waiting
more
for
accurate.
50 people. I haven't seen that in his group. I could be wrong.
I think it was Seth who was like, for the price, you should just buy the Hot Toys whole figure. But I think this armory is like more accurate, but I don't know what it comes with.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what it comes with, but that is, it says it needs 100 people to get it done. It's about $400, designed and made by Yost. And if he gets to 100, he'll start 3D imaging it and work on having it made. But I don't think he was ready for us to talk about that one just yet.
Oh.
It is still like
I'm just
super.
saying he's real busy.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Every day in the groups, I see another person say, "Oh, can Yost make this?" And the last one that I remember seeing was from Eric and John from Tashi. They were looking to make the episode 3 diorama where Obi-Wan has that platform that he's on, and they're fighting, and Anakin has a droid, but Obi-Wan's on a platform.
Yeah.
They wanted the platform to go with the droid. And I don't know if that one ever got off the ground, but I think there was a lot of people there was a number of people that were interested in it. And then Ray Speeder, I saw that on his group as well. I don't know if that one has.
Ray Speeder would be cool if I gave a shit.
He has negative Nancy today.
Well,
But anyway, so all these projects,
just from the sequel trilogy.
info at jazzinkdioramas.com if you're interested in these. Yost and his father, they make wonderful, wonderful things. You can find them on the web at jazzinkdioramas.com. And they also have stuff that's already available for sale. These are all pre-order stuff, but they have like an assortment of dioramas that you can buy today. They even make a 1/12 scale Tantive 4 corridor in 12 scale.
Really?
Yeah,
It's very cool.
it's really, really cool looking. I think it's like $300, but it's like lights and like all fancy.
It's like 12 inches long, I think.
The diorama?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he's not here. Probably.
So that's that. We did a giveaway before we started on stream, and Richard won that one, right?
Beautiful Richard.
Beautiful Angelo Richard, man. What a collection. That guy showed off his collection this week, and so beautiful.
Dude, he has so many like unique figures. I'm like, fuck, I want that.
Yeah,
Like the
Marilyn Monroe is fantastic.
Marilyn Monroe is really cool, but she's like way out of left field for
Mhm.
me even to consider like wanting to have that.
Mhm.
But the his Black Widow in the chair is like so well done.
Mhm.
And then his two Dread, or the Dread and the Anderson figure.
Mhm.
But he has a figure that I'm like, it's probably gonna be my next purchase.
Really?
Yeah,
What is it?
Leonidas for 300.
You've been wanting one for a while.
A long time. Now there are companies that sell like a third party,
You're gonna get the first party one?
which is a little cheaper. I think in the Hot Toys, it's like real expensive. Isn't it?
No, you can get the legit one.
Oh,
Or third party.
probably third party just to get it.
Dude, that's dope.
But that movie is amazing, and two, Leonidas is fucking awesome as shit.
Yeah.
And I saw it in his collection, and it was like pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back, because I had just watched what's the actor's name?
Oh man, damn it.
I literally had it when you were talking about it.
Right.
I don't remember it.
I don't know. He's in all these like London Has Fallen, Olympus Has
Yes.
Yeah. I had just watched him
Like one story exists.
talk about all his iconic
Leonidas is
roles,
small.
and he talked in great detail about 300.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, thank you. He talked in great detail about how badly he wanted to play Leonidas, and just getting to play the role, and the scene where he's like, "This is Sparta." He was like, it was written a lot differently, and he's like, so I just tried it with screaming it, and like everybody on the set was laughing, but the director was like, "No, that was cool," and then I kept it. So I just watched that like literally like an hour before he posted his
Sometimes that's all it
collection,
takes, man.
and I was like, I need a Leonidas. Like I just have to have a Leonidas in my collection. So way to go, Richard! You're
Congratulations.
making me spend money.
Congratulations to Richard.
Yeah, congrats.
3, 2, 1. Rainer, it's time that we talk State of Star Wars. That is your personal segment that whenever you come on, we talk about it. So what's going on with Star Wars?
Well, we just came off of D3 a few weeks ago.
D23.
D23, of course, thank you.
Got a few digits there.
Yeah.
I love him.
But no, it's we got a bunch of news come out. We got a trailer for The Mandalorian.
Really good.
That was amazing.
Yes,
IG.
No, it's IG-11.
Oh, really?
And, yeah,
It's Taika Waititi too.
and man, I want to talk just for a few minutes about The Mandalorian. I'm so happy the tone they're taking with it. Just from the trailer, it looks like they're keeping that gritty underworld tone of the Mandalorian culture. It looks like they might actually do it justice. Guys, what are your thoughts on that?
What's his name? What's the guy who did Rebels?
Dave Filoni?
Dave Filoni has a huge hand in it,
Oh yeah.
and I trust him completely with Star Wars. Also, the director. Why am I forgetting everyone's names?
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau does not fuck around. That
No,
dude
One.
is a real fan. What are you gonna say?
Well, I like how Disney is keeping Jon Favreau back in the fray because he started off, Iron Man, and then he started off with a new project, this whole new series with Disney with the Mandalorian. It's just like they have a lot of faith in him.
Well, one thing I'm happy about, just looking at the trailers, it looks like Dismemberment's coming back. Because so far we've seen in the sequel trilogy, Kylo take a lightsaber to the face, and all he gets is a scar.
Yeah.
But if you look
Well,
at
if he
this,
lost his head, it would be a pretty short trilogy.
well, that's true. But
Well,
that's about
Snoke
it.
got dismembered. He lost
That's
like
true.
all his arms and legs.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
What's
that?
wrong with you, Rainer?
Well, I try not to have flashbacks about The Last Jedi because it brings my PTSD into
That's
play.
fair.
But
I don't blame you.
But no, you saw in the old and the old prequel trilogy and the old classic trilogy, people losing arms, people losing hands, people getting squished, and it looks like they're taking that
People lose their
dark
arms and hands.
When they cut up that thing on Hoth, what is it?
the top.
There you go.
Yeah, the Wampa was what they cut the arm off, and then they cut the tauntaun.
There you go.
But no, I'm glad they're actually taking that darker, gritty tone with it. I think that's what it needs. I
Yeah,
think
they
if
cut
you,
someone in half with a door.
that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
I will say the whole Mandalorian culture is kind of confusing now because Disney made it so that Jango and Boba Fett are not Mandalorians.
Yeah, and that's a
And that was the whole thing. Like that was all we knew about Mandalorians.
that
From
was
the video games
yeah,
and the
that was
comics
smart
and the
move.
books. And
Didn't say why.
Well, and then
it was just like he stole the armor and like assumed the mantle of a Mandalorian, but he never was like
Well,
culturally
and also
like
in
the Rachel Dolezal of Mandalorian.
And also, you got to keep in mind in the Clone Wars, they completely abandoned Mandalorian culture, what it was with the whole taking the pacifist approach. Because the Mandalorians were a warrior culture beforehand, and in the Clone Wars, they kind of took the mantle of we're done with war. And
Not all of them.
well, not all of them. There was Death Watch roaming around, but it's.
Moving forward, though, what do you think about the sizzle reel for episode 9? Do you like it?
I still think I want to have a little bit more information before I go opening weekend. I think that it looked really good and it looked promising. the main gripe I have is the whole Rey lightsaber thing that's been circling the internet
Yeah.
with her twirling the two lightsabers into a double bladed. But other than that, I think it looks promising. Also, that's another thing I want to discuss. Guys, what do you think about Rey going dark? I mean, do you think it's a vision?
Yeah, I'm
Do you
pretty
think-
sure
It's yeah.
You what?
I think they.
accidentally confirmed it.
Darn it. Yeah, because
Well,
I
maybe
was,
it was some staffer that was like fucking around.
but yeah,
It was definitely screen grab.
because I think that if Rey actually goes dark, that would be a good story move, but it would lose out on a lot of merch.
Well, from what I understand, Daisy Ridley's done with this character. She doesn't want to play Rey anymore.
Really?
Why? Because the criticism?
I just think it was more than she was bargaining for with the fans and the,
Oh, okay, yeah.
the
Yeah.
universe and everything.
Being on the
The
set.
Last Jedi.
So I doubt that she's gonna be a bad guy.
Well, what I would foresee happening is her going dark and then making a return to the light or something like that for the story. But I think the trailer looked good. I think that it definitely got me a little bit more excited for Rise of Skywalker because that was something I honestly couldn't say.
The first 2 minutes of the trailer were fantastic.
Well, wasn't that like not the sequel trilogy?
Exactly.
Maybe we saw different things.
No. But I did like the scene where all the Star Destroyers are in the nebula.
Ooh, that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
C-3PO with red eyes.
Oh gosh,
That was
it was C-3PO all along.
love out
I do think Star Wars is heading in the right direction, especially after D23. We got a lot more news to work with, and I definitely think that if nothing else, The Mandalorian and the Clone Wars making a comeback are definitely going to help
Yes.
morale quite a bit.
When is that supposed to happen?
November, I want to say, gosh, it's like mid-November is when Disney Plus comes out. I'm forgetting the
And
exact
Clone
date.
Wars is coming out with it?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh,
I think so. I think Mandalorian and Clone Wars are coming off the ground. Disney Plus is not fooling around with this.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, they
I'm
did
buying it
that
day one.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, you can already buy it right now.
Yeah, with
It's a
Hulu.
3-year deal for $140 something. Hulu 3 years. It's like buy 2 years, get one free.
So, but yeah, I think Disney Plus is definitely
you're
not
not
screwing
buying it.
around this time.
I have
But
$8.
but I think morale is definitely going up. I think they need to keep this upward trend and win back some of the fans because I know some of the fans are definitely still maybe Dean raising his hand
I
here.
keep forgetting that this movie's coming out. Like,
It's not good.
That's
That's
like
a bad
oh
thing.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting a movie
exactly.
this year.
That's
Like
the
I remember
whole point.
when episode, because I didn't completely dislike Force Awakens. Like it was a very safe film. Like it had like everything you could have expected.
As
Like, all the
opposed-
tropes. And then
very
episode
fun.
8,
just
was,
jumped off the cliff.
super excited for it. Like I remember like 6 months until episode 8, 5 months, the week of, the
Dude,
day of.
counting down.
I remember I got there like 3 hours early and like I was super hyped.
So
I literally left the theater speechless in the worst way possible.
So I remember I was actually still in physical therapy at the time, recovering from my accident. I had actually trained to walk into the theater, like that was my goal.
Yeah.
After that, he was like, I'm never walking.
Yeah, he quit physical therapy and laid in bed for a week. It was sad.
Yeah, it
What
was
about you,
depressing.
Zach? Do you watch Star Wars or you?
Yeah, I watched Star Wars. Honestly, I'm really excited for this movie, but like you said, I forgot it was coming out. The only one that I really liked a lot was Rogue One. And to be honest with you, I did like Han Solo too.
Dude, Solo's a great movie.
That is a
People
amazing
dog on
movie.
that movie. It's
which one?
Solo.
I think that it could have been the best movie ever. It still was not going to do well because of the backlash from Last Jedi, because of the boycotts that people
Yeah,
quote
Zach, you
unquote
were
boycott.
boycotting. You were a fake fan. You didn't even go see it in the theaters. I hope we don't get a second. So.
Oh no! I did see it in theaters.
No,
It took me like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
though.
At that point,
It's too late.
the Blu-ray was out already.
Yeah, the fact that I remember when this year started, because we didn't get a Star Wars movie in like Christmas time. I was talking to my friend. I was like, dude, I used to like pray to God that I didn't die before the next Star Wars movie came out.
Jeez.
And I was like, and now
It's all Final Destination.
the only thing I'm thinking of is like Marvel, like Endgame, Spider-Man. I was like, don't even think about Star Wars anymore. It's like,
And
that's really sad.
And I think that's why they need to continue this upward trajectory, get people psyched for Rise of Skywalker, and then what's to come, because they're actually, rumors are circulating that they're going to bring the Yuuzhan Vong back in some form of fashion.
Yeah, they're talking about it. Well, actually, I don't know, because the third Thrawn book has come out, and I haven't gotten there yet. But I think there might be some.
Do you know anything about the Obi-Wan show?
Honestly, I'm a little bit behind on my news on that right now. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think it's
Yeah, I think they just announced
just
it.
announced. I don't even think they have a script.
I just
Yeah.
think it's-
Yeah. I mean, I all I know is that he signed it. So.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. I definitely hope they follow the plot of that book, Kenobi.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You know, Disney is,
Audiobook is fantastic.
they're doing a pretty decent job about picking and pulling from the EU. It's not always exact, but they have enough source material to go off of that it's bits and pieces are like, okay, I can see where this came from. So I don't think they would steer too far away from like any Obi-Wan source material, because
Hopefully not.
especially because he's stuck on a fucking planet.
Yeah, I mean,
What the fuck are doing?
Exactly.
he's on Tatooine. It's not like he's going out clubbing on Coruscant every night
Yeah,
or something
getting
like
death
that.
sticks and shit.
So,
Zachary, you wanted to talk Mythic Legions.
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
Mythic Legions was originally started up by these dudes. They worked with the original Masters of the Universe Classics line for Mattel.
Oh,
And they
okay.
also worked with McFarlane. I don't know if you guys were into like those Dark Age Spawn figures in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
I was a fan of the McFarlane Dragon series back in
There
the
you
day.
go. Well, I think they also work with them in that line as well. But basically, those guys just created their own little passion project of their own original characters and their own concept design. And now it's kind of taken off. Like they just partnered with somebody to meet the man. That big one of those online companies is called Megapolis or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's really good because honestly, because their site crashed within like a couple of hours when they first set up the in-stock sale a couple months back.
Mhm.
And it just goes crazy. And I wasn't able to get any figure except for this bottom figure, this Galadriel. I think that's her name. It's right here. Oh, it's Gadriel, sorry.
You were right. That's very close.
That's why I hate it. Oh my god, man, that's too much like Lord of the Rings. I'm always going to say Galadriel. But they got, I only ordered this Gadriel recently. They have a pre-order up for their, they had this whole concept that matches with their names of Four Horsemen. They're just Four Horsemen of the apocalypse. They had that whole thing going on in their own lore, and they just announced the first wave that's going to showcase one of the gods in that wave. And you haven't seen any of the other characters in the comics that they made. They only made like one trade back, I believe.
Okay, so there is a comic.
But it's not in circulation anymore, so it's really hard to come by.
Okay, I was gonna ask, is the lore just on the box art? Like,
Yeah, I know.
I know little to nothing about Mythic
Me
Legends, so
too.
I'm very excited.
But
I was like, I'm really excited here.
But no, honestly, you can ask yourself stuff because there's some awesome people. I'm part of this group on Facebook called Mythic Legions Cabal
Cabal.
Cabal. There you go. Somebody did the whole like the entire stories for the characters, and they made a post on it. So I read up that way. That's the only way I know how because I can't find the comic book anywhere. But I have that. What's cool about this new pre-order though is that they're showcasing a lot more demons. I think the Lord that come down with is Lord of Death or Pestilence. Anyways, he has this great hellish design and just a beautiful aesthetic to him. And he has like these like demon like sergeants that are coming with him. And what's cool about this, like you're talking about how Hasbro just like kind of gave you guys like kind of like a short notice basically.
Uh-huh.
Well, what Four Horsemen does is they give you 2 months to pre-order. So it's still on pre-order for that wave to come in probably around sometime next year.
Now, do they make to order And then that's it, or
No.
do they make like a whole?
Yeah, they make to order and then they also add some more.
Like
because-
10%.
Yeah, they always have an in-stock sale after they're done shipping it out. So that's usually what I try. When I first initially got into Metavisas, I did a pre-order, and then they had an in-stock sale. And people who got the in-stock sale, they got their figures before I got mine for the pre-order. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to wait for the in-stock sale for reference, for future reference.
How much are these, like the smaller ones?
Smaller ones go from 30, 35, and these deluxe ones go like 40, 45, sorry.
Okay. And you were mentioning that some of these might be your nomination for some Figure of the Year awards.
Yeah, and
Which categories were you, like 6-inch scale Figure of the Year?
6-inch scale figure, I actually didn't bring her, but it was Grisha. But
This fucking guy.
But this one probably could be a nice worthy contender because everybody loves goblins and they're,
I like his
Yeah, our buddy Jason's really into goblins right now.
yeah, he is.
Jason-
I'm not gonna say credit for getting me into it, but
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I thought these were 3 3/4 when you showed me the pictures.
so really?
Yeah, not because of like,
And actually, this is like the first release of their new mode, of new Slender mode. Before that, it was just these types of modes. So this one, you can get a lot more great poses, and it's not as
it's like a goblin king with it.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
and they also applied the same mode to their Odin figures as well. You can tell.
Yeah.
It's just like not taller, obviously.
Love it. Dean, I wanted to talk Company of the Year discussion. I know a few weeks ago we talked about 6-inch scale Figure of the Year and less than $25 Figure of the Year. Well, I do. My pick, my nomination, again, we're starting nominations in October, so you got like 4 more episodes.
And this is for what?
I know.
Like Company Award, Company
No,
of the Year.
I know, but
Company of the Year.
company of the year, okay.
Best overall company.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Bandai.
okay.
I think they were snubbed last year, and
And that was my vote last year.
well, you didn't do a good enough job convincing us. But we're doing a whole new system this year, so we don't have to worry about live convincing. Dean, who's your pick for Company of the Year?
Oh, dude. Bandai?
Dude,
Who do you got? Bandai is fucking coming in
Bandai's
hot.
coming in hot, dude.
I just said that.
I know, I'm agreeing with you. Dude, their
Because you
model
yelled at me
kits,
earlier.
yeah.
Okay, that, in regards to that, that's cool, but I'm more talking
I would
about.
say let's keep it to figures though, because model kits is like,
Those are figures, you just build them yourself.
That's true.
yeah, that's a model.
Figure-rise,
Those are graphic figures.
that's a
Maybe.
figure.
Yeah, but you have to build.
But they have their budget lines, their not so budget lines.
Dragon Stars is one of the budget lines, which is fantastic. Figuarts, the Gunpla,
Gundam Universe.
Gundam Universe line. They own Monster Arts. The Godzilla figures are fantastic.
Oh, wow, they
King
did.
Ghidorah was a little bit of a misstep, I think.
Yeah,
but,
they fucked up King Ghidorah.
really, really good. Rainer, what do you think for Company of the Year?
I gotta go Bandai. I mean, I don't really own much of their products. I do own a few of their newer Gundam line stuff though. But man, they're just killing it. They're killing it. Just quality.
What about you? What do you think?
The Prime, definitely.
Really?
The Prime is the winner.
Well, we have-
Well, that's not how this works.
Isn't it? Don't we have most overall?
So we have the most. We'll talk about next week. A most improved company, and I think that's where I want McFarlane.
Yeah,
to be.
McFarlane's gonna take that.
McFarlane, in
That's
my
right.
opinion, has just fucking taken all the garbage they made for the past like 10 years and just like.
Which is saying
Throw
a
that
lot
away.
because it's
But
not garbage.
I like, but the way that they've stepped it up this year with.
Because McFarlane's always been a superior toy company. In my
Well, let's have
opinion.
this discussion now. I think McFarlane wins it. I mean, the Game of Thrones line, I had issues with the dragons, but the characters themselves were sculpted and painted beautifully.
Well, Daenerys was pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's bad. The One Punch Man line was really good. They have, don't they also make the Fortnite figures?
Yes, that's
Insane.
the articulation.
Well done.
That's the future for them.
They're coming out with the Mortal Kombat ones with the same
Oh.
articulation. They have a whole anime and video game line that they like are focusing on
Uh-huh.
with like different. They have like Naruto, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Tokyo Ghoul. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
maybe like these kind of not. I don't want to say not well-known animes, but I don't know. Maybe like Bandai wouldn't touch that brand.
That's
And then
true.
here comes McFarlane with a 1-2 punch. You get a great figure with great articulation for
At
like
a bottom basement
$20.
price.
Yeah, like
What?
Shut the fuck up for a second.
Okay, what I like about McFarlane is how they occasionally throw in pieces of shit figures. Just keep us humble.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Yeah, because they just came out with their Harry Potter figures,
Oh yeah.
and they are articulated, but like not.
Are they limited? Like it's
Very.
like it's there, but the mold.
But it's like one.
Hinders it?
Yeah, you should have just done it the way it Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So
maybe some potential nominees we have here.
yeah.
I gotta say, I mean, both those companies are fantastic, Bandai and McFarlane. And so the way we'll do it is we'll put the nomination threads up. People can nominate some stuff, and then we'll get some voting done, and then the host will vote. We'll take some viewer votes into account. It'll be nice. We'll have a nice little presentation. Dean Steele wore a suit with his Kleenex box shoes, and it'll be great.
I'm gonna do. I don't know why Manny thinks I'm kidding.
Dude, if you do it, I would love that. That'd be awesome.
My buddy
Anyways,
Manny's getting married in a few months. You guys know Manny.
he's a good kid.
And he's obsessed with The Office. And we made a joke that I would wear Kleenex instead of shoes.
Oh, dude.
Kleenex boxes like
Kevin
Kevin.
Malone, yeah.
And I was like, Manny, I'm gonna do it if you keep telling me to do it. He's
Yeah.
At his wedding?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm one of his groomsmen.
Dude, all of the grooms that you did.
And dance,
Uh,
dude.
all-
Like all the photos are gonna be of Dean with Dean's feet in them.
The Joker movie was released in some
Oh.
film festivals to rave reviews. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it very high as well.
8 minutes standing.
8 minute standing ovation. And
Jeez.
frankly, Collecting Weekly has never had a standing ovation. So,
Well, we don't need one. We're not pretentious. And
oh, I want an 8 minute standing ovation. You know how obnoxious that
Yeah,
is?
so
Have people clap for 8
pretentious.
minutes? It's pretty flagrant.
I
So
would
yeah,
get so bored sitting there being clapped at. Like,
bro, I would
guys,
keep that shit up.
You're
Like
with your
the
lives.
sketch seeds of the dark crystal, I fucking absorb that shit for life.
yeah.
But,
That's
Anyway, so really excited to see that one. It comes out in a few weeks. Speaking of the Dark Crystal, that is the thing that matters the most to me this week.
Really?
The show.
Me too.
Now, when I grew up, we hung with my great grandmother a lot, and that was the only movie that she had that we could watch. So I saw that movie dozens of times, and I don't remember that much about it as an adult. Truth be told, I haven't watched it, since I watched it as a kid.
Uh-huh.
But this week I watched the Netflix show.
This is a
and,
prequel,
It's a
isn't it?
prequel.
Okay.
And I tasked you all to watch it, and I think Zach was on the last show with me.
Always.
Big fans.
I
Anyways,
really interesting.
It was a really good show. It was very faithful to the original. Lots of excellent puppeteering work, and lots of Game of Thrones actors were in this.
You're getting me
Sande,
interested.
Lena Headley.
Voice actors.
Voice actors.
Sorry.
And,
That's still. that's
Okay,
fine.
there you go. So all you need is the
the
voice.
Tyrell. Who's the Tyrell girl? What's her name? Marjorie Tyrell. She's in the film. Mark Hamill is in it.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg is in the movie.
One of those Kim Hill dudes is in it.
Yeah.
And
Really
Which one, Key or Peel?
The taller one.
yeah. So
Keegan.
Yes.
and Sigourney Weaver's doing
The
the
narration.
There you go.
It's fucking hot. It's amazing.
Damn.
I watched all 10 hours in two days.
This dude, this fucking dude sitting across from me is Zach, by the way.
Which one?
OG Zach.
There are times where he's like, oh, I'm watching this movie. And then like 4 days later, he'll be like, oh, I'm at the scene. I'm like, dude, you're still watching the same movie? He's like, oh, I don't have time. I'm doing this and that. And he sits down for 10 hours straight.
Dude, I made it a point to disregard everything I had to do because I told you guys I want you to watch this for the show. We're at that point in our show where we need to talk about things like this. Like we all tried to get the Popeye sandwich, but we were it was impossible. They ran out.
Yeah.
This is something to do. This is
I'm
like
watching stuff.
So no, you're not watching the Dark Crystal. You're watching like the Dark Crystal porno remake,
Wait, so
which is also called the Dark Crystal.
Yeah. That's actually called the Dark Throbbing Crystal.
so nobody got the Popeye sandwich at all?
No, we all tried. I went for it.
No, we heard there was a guy who pulled a gun, so we just didn't go.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a real thing. Anyways, really, I have to say, 9 out of 10. I actually watched the finale like an hour ago with Zachary here.
It was amazing.
I was like really impressed. It's solid. Like,
Now,
and like I said, I'm going to watch the movie this week. My wife was feeling a little poopy today, so we didn't want to watch it today. But I'm really
she
excited.
probably felt like shit because you've been ignoring her all week.
She got bacteria.
Okay, yeah. That's
Anyways, so what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
What I liked about Dark Crystal was how they did a perfect mix of CG.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
very
I-
little CG, but when they used it, it was like not
It's like
not unnecessary use.
it's like where the puppetry lapses,
Yeah,
the CG makes up.
I did watch a making of, and I was very impressed.
you watched the whole making of, but you didn't watch.
I didn't watch the whole. I said 8.
Oh, it was like an hour and a half. Like,
Yeah.
They did one watch like 1.5 episodes.
No, it was like maybe like a like the things they do with Star Wars. What are they called?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, but they have like a name where it's like a 4-minute like montage of the shit they do.
Montage.
We're fine.
Anyways,
No, I watched
I will
those.
say Deet and Hub are my favorite characters
Yeah,
of
right.
anything I've seen in a long time, and I need a Hot Toys Deet and Hub 2-pack.
Okay, so this is a
That'd be great.
prequel to the movie,
Yes.
Yes.
and it ends like that's it. Like there's no more.
I think they leave it open for.
It's open ended, definitely.
Yeah, you could get a season 2 out of it, or 3 out of
You
it.
can squeeze something out of it.
Okay, where can I watch the movie?
It's on Netflix as well.
Is it?
It's all there, yeah.
Okay, because that's what I was worried about. I was not sure if it was a prequel. So I was like, well, I don't want to watch this thing if I'm not going to understand. So,
Honestly, dude, I haven't seen the original movie. I've not seen it.
Really?
I haven't. This was my first impression of Dark Crystal, and I don't want to watch the movie now until to see if this thing goes on further. So I'm gonna wait for this to finish, and then I'm gonna watch the original movie.
dude, you're going to be waiting forever.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I've been watching. The only reason I didn't watch Dark Crystal was apart from not really knowing anything about it, and so I was like, kind of like, yeah. I'm in the middle of Mindhunters.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
I barely started that show, but that was, dude,
It's
the
good.
first episode, dude. Yeah, no spoilers, but that whole scene that happens with the standoff.
Dude, it's good. It's a good show. So I'm just kind of like in
And
the middle of that, and then Dexter.
Who's the serial killer they're interviewing?
Oh, it's not Ed Keen. Is it?
Ted Bundy.
No.
No, they interview a lot, but the main one,
The first one.
I forget his
Dude,
name.
that guy's creepy. That guy's an amazing
Dude, that actor is. And have you ever seen the side-by-side shots of the actors they pick and the serial killers they play?
No.
Dude, they all look exactly like the killers.
That's so eerie.
It's so unsettling when you see it. You're just like, oh my god.
I'm gonna head out.
It's a really good show.
Oh
It's,
my god,
it's super fantastic.
these killings don't gross me out. But oh my god, these side by side comparisons.
Yeah, if you're interested in the show, it's on Netflix. It's about an FBI agent who's putting together like a psychological evaluation of serial killers and like why they do what they do, and like no one's done it before. And so like
He basically mapping them out.
yeah, and society is very like old school. It takes place in like the early 60s, so
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like, oh, that's taboo, like, oh, they're just sick. But it's like, but why are they sick?
Except for that director who helps them out, right?
Yeah, there's a couple people that are like, man, you're really onto something here. But like, he's fighting through like all this red tape. He has a partner that like does not believe in what he's doing. Eventually, I think he's coming around. I'm not there yet, so it's a really good show. If you're looking for a good show to watch, I recommend it.
Yeah, Dark Crystal Mindhunters.
Yeah.
basically.
Most of the Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal's amazing.
Uh,
That's beautiful lore.
If you want to join us on Facebook, you can check us out, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. It's a wonderful group. We have tons of people
We
there.
have so much fun.
We just gave away a $25 Sideshow gift card, or any gift card, I guess, since we're maybe on a boycott. But TeePublic, you can find our TeePublic store by searching Collecting Weekly. We put up the Japanese translation of our brand name is Collect Every Week.
Dude, that was so funny.
Fucking fuego.
So you put that up,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm not entirely convinced Zach did this properly.
I did it very wrong.
Because kanji is very complicated.
I asked Greg.
The placement matters, like everything matters, like how you do it.
Mhm.
So I do some like online research. My sister speaks Japanese, but she's like, well, I don't really know kanji. So I was like, let me ask Greg.
I asked Greg.
So I asked Greg, and he was like, dude, I actually sat down with my wife and my brother-in-law. We figured this out. He's like, it is correct.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
I
I
want to
was
make sure,
like-
like, if we do the, the 2 lines.
I didn't want to come at you with like, I think you're an idiot. You got this wrong. But I was like, I definitely don't want people buying merch that's
No, trust me.
completely
It was
incorrect.
vetted. This
yeah.
fucking guy comes in last week, talks shit about these pancakes that were the rejects, and then behind my back,
I was like, I love those pancakes.
tries to usurp my knowledge of kanji, and I will say I did my homework, man.
I'm giving you props.
Yeah, so-
I didn't want to
It
come at you
comes
like, you're an idiot and you're wrong. I was like, let me double check.
The shirt comes in red and comes in neon blue. I ordered the neon blue with like a red shirt. It's pretty dope. It's gonna be here in a few days, hopefully. They actually shipped it really quick. And then I ordered the certified crispy big logo. So that's really cool. YouTube is youtube.com/c/collecting weekly. We lost a bunch of subs and we gained some subs, and then now we're basically where we were last week. So I don't know. We offended some people maybe, but that's life.
How'd you
Twitter, I don't know. People are snowflakes. Twitter is collecting WKLY. You can find us on there. Manny runs the Twitter. If you have friends that collect, share the podcast with them, and help us grow our viewer base. You can rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That really does help, and I know a ton of people have been doing that lately. So thank you so much for that. It really helps us out because we gave a lot of things out these past few months. We still haven't heard from our Hot Toys giveaway winner. He's been ghosting us, and we've been tagging him on every post on this other group to try to get his attention for like 3 days. And we haven't heard from him.
Dude, a fuck off would do it.
Yeah,
If he
just
just
tell us to fuck
acknowledged me to fuck off, I'd be like, okay. But he won't even do that.
Won't even give us the time of day. Check out Small Talk. They recorded an episode last night. It has not hit the feed yet. Ours is hitting the feed Wednesday. I think they're going to hit the feed like Friday once they get the edit from Damien. But Damien Dillon, they had a great show as per usual. 6 Scale Scavengers, Brian, Chris, and TC, wonderful guys. They are really, really nice people. And they host a great show. They talk about Marvel, Hot Toys, and films and stuff like that. It's really great. We did, the Scavengers Assemble panel did talk about our talking point last week, and I think they gave some really good insight on their position. And I was in the live feed as it was going on, and chatting with them. Yeah, it was a good chat.
To be rating them.
Got a bonus if you see those collecting weekly.
Well,
not
tell
it's
the audience what
collecting weekly, not collectors weekly. It's a big thing for me. Okay, you got a trademark collecting weekly.
I'm
I'm just kidding with you. But no, it was a great, they had like a 4-hour live stream. I was like, God damn. Because I was doing the fantasy football draft, and like it was in the middle of the stream. I was like, crap, I'm gonna miss it. And I came back and I was like, damn, they're still going? This is dope. But it was Matt, Allison, Steve, and a few other people coming out. PJ was coming in and out. So it's really, really good live stream.
You said they were talking about one of our talking points?
Yeah, the Scene Gate.
Okay.
They were, let me see. They had a thing where they were saying like, in the chat, he was saying like that was the first big thing for him. That's why he didn't cancel already. But for us, like, there's been several things that we've called out as being like really important to us. That figures are really important to us. Like the Mark II for me came out super small, and they kind of were very like dishonest in the marketing of like the new body. That was a big deal for me. The just a few figures here and there, but they were saying like I kind of like what he said. He's like if something that you care about like disappoints you, don't just walk away from it.
Right.
And I guess I'm at that point with Hot Toys. I'm just gonna walk away if I don't like it. He's not there yet, but I could see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I told that to Manny one time because I forgot what we were talking about, but he was like, "Oh, like if you don't like it, then just don't buy it." I'm like, if I didn't buy every figure I didn't like something on, I wouldn't have any figures.
I'm talking about the figures, so.
But like at some point, you have to draw a line and say this isn't okay.
Yeah.
You're consistently fucking me in the ass, and I don't like being fucked in the ass.
Well, but they had a good point. It's in it's in their 4-hour live stream. It's towards the end. They talk about Scene Gate, but Matt was there, and he had heard. Steve hadn't heard our podcast yet. He was feeling unwell throughout the week, but Matt was like kind of giving our side of things, and it's nice to have like a very respectable banter back and forth between the shows, because I know we throw a lot of traffic their way, and they throw a lot of traffic our way. And I think it's good that every once in a while we can have a talking point that extends over to both of our shows.
I think we still need to.
We still there's that meme of Hawkeye where it's like, don't give me hope.
Yeah,
Guys, Brian, Chris, TC, when are we gonna do this damn joint show?
yeah.
Okay, you guys, if you don't want to do with us, just let me know. It won't break my heart. I'll cry for like a week, but I get over it. It's okay.
2 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, they're a great podcast. All joke aside, the main shows, Avengers Assemble, Rogue One 6 with Matt and Roy, really, really good people. Frank and Culture, Steve and his wife, really good show. Great people. Dark Side Customs in the United Kingdom, if you need a head sculpt painted, hit up Ian. He's a really cool painter. And then my buddy Stephen Krett, he just got a Mondo Iron Man, the 18-inch one, brought it over, and we took some Iron Giant. Good catch. Really, really awesome figure, and we took a bunch of pictures with my Gypsy.
Maybe I
Bumblebee.
don't know enough about the Iron Giant, but why did it have a big ass S?
Oh, in the movie, there's a fresh seafood or like supermarket sign that he finds,
Mhm.
and he like takes the S off and wears it like Superman,
Oh,
and he just like feels really inspired to be like good because of that.
Okay.
And like throughout the movie, it's like, have you seen the movie? I don't know if you've seen it.
It's been a
Oh,
long
okay, like he kind of like grows with the kid and like learns to be good and
Okay.
you know, not like this crazy like
Yeah.
war machine that he may or may not be, but yeah, no. So the S is just like it comes with the actual store sign, and you can take the S off. It's on a magnet,
Oh, cool.
Nice.
and then like it's just really impressive. A little bit lighter
Yeah,
than I thought
that's really.
because it's all plastic. It's like very light. So
Most of my Iron Giant knowledge comes from Ready Player One.
yeah. And what was interesting is you really got him there.
No, I love that.
What's interesting is
It's a great movie.
I think I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh,
come
man.
on.
God.
Iron Giant S.
Hang on, let me think.
Wait,
Wait, just play back what you were
Wait,
saying.
We were talking about Customs UK or something like that.
Oh, okay. I heard. Three.
Do I do it again?
It's a great movie.
Don't do it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. One interesting thing, now that I remember that Steven had was, when he came to look at my Rex the first time, which we never released a video because the audio was not the best, so I deemed it over. And he had all these really nice studio lights because he does a lot of professional photography for like reviews and stuff. And with all that light, it's like you start noticing like the tiniest thing that's wrong because it's really a lot of light.
Yeah.
And he had done the same thing because it had came and the thumb was broken off, like the little capsule. It's just like a dot of glue to fix it. And so he had the lights on it. He was like preparing the process and cleaning everything off. And there was all these tiny little small, I wouldn't say imperfections, but the paint wasn't super clean or the plastic underneath was like maybe a little bumpy or whatever. And it was really interesting because he's a new collector and his only experience is Hot Toys and Iron Studio from us and Figure Arts. And I just kind of told him Mondo makes really good stuff, but like really perfection is like maybe Hot Toys on occasion and like almost everything Bandai makes. Like Bandai does not make anything that leaves the factory that is like materially like it's almost always perfect. And it's like you just have to kind of accept that for other companies that are outside of Hot Toys Figure Arts and like Iron Studios, you might get stuff like a Marvel Legends figure where there's like a chunk of plastic that's not supposed to be there, or like a paint flaw or a scratch. And it was interesting watching him process like throughout the conversation as we were talking about it. Like it sucks, it's not perfect, but that's just like how some things are. And of course, like when you turn the studio lights off, you don't notice these things, but when you have like these massive reflectors on everything, it really does
Amplifies everything.
So that's my shout outs. We had lunch, me and Steven, and he came by on Saturday and brought that figure over. It was really cool because I wanted that one for a while. But he actually got a really good deal on it because normally they go for like $500, $600, $700. He scored it for $360, which is just a little bit over retail, not a ship. So he sniped it in a bid. He was willing to pay like $450, and he got a really good deal on it. You guys have any shout outs you want to give?
Zachary DeHoyas. Did I say that right?
Yeah, actually you did.
Okay.
That's weird. Everybody always boxes it up on the first time.
Yeah, I've known you for years now, but we've never actually like met.
No.
We've like passed each other at like toy shows.
Have we?
Yeah, like
I'm sorry.
like Cooters.
Oh, really? Cooters.
Which is a restaurant.
Cooter Browns, which is the name of a bar here, which is fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, well, we never like met, so I was like, I'm not gonna go over there and say hi. That's weird. Like, hey, it's
Wait,
dude, you know.
were you sitting with Jesus, right?
Last time, yeah,
You're sitting with Hector next to somebody.
Manuel and
There you go.
the bigger guy,
Okay.
what's his name? The really nice one.
Jesus.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I was sitting with them last time, and then Jason was with us. Shout out all those guys too.
Those are basically all my core friends and collectors. Other than
Wow.
I was about to say.
I'm at
He's opening
This is your own house.
Yeah, it's just funny because we've all been in the same toy group for years now.
It's basically the same circle of friends.
It's really
But it's a
cool.
big circle.
And I was gonna say this about a few episodes ago. It's just like it's such a cool way of like meeting people and just having friends and like making new friends. It's just really, I don't know. I just really love it. So thank you for being here.
You're awesome. Well, thank you for
Sharing the mythic. I still almost know nothing about Mythic Legends, but they're freaking cool.
Yeah, I can give you more in-depth stuff. Just message me, or I'll just link you to more people who know more thorough stuff about it.
So this is who makes it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Four Horsemen.
Okay. All right. What about
So-
you?
You have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for having me back on here. I know it's been a while with my crazy work schedule.
No, what's up, buddy?
And shout out to Ops for being just such a great community.
Yeah,
It's a really,
That's super
really
fun.
special group.
I really like waking up and like, hey, what's going on, Ox?
It's gotten to that point with Ox, like for a while there, like maybe like 5 months ago, I could like keep track of everything. Like anytime I posted, I could like comment or react. But it's at that point now where like I'm scrolling and I'm like, I haven't seen like half of these posts. Like even from you or like from any, like I'm just like, wow, like it's a lot to keep up with now. And then we have international collectors, so there's stuff being posted while we're asleep. We gotta wake up to it.
I see you guys talking about like hot toys, and I was like 12 months ago. I was like, damn, what can I do to create a conversation? Because even though I do like that stuff, I don't.
Oh, I
I
just
don't
gotta
own
check out the
any.
Gladiator.
I don't own exactly. I don't own any, so you know what? I'm just gonna post toy photography pictures and talk about
Yeah, but you get some
Marvel
traction on your
Legends.
stuff.
and like the other like the smaller scale stuff, and
Yeah.
you guys comment on it and you guys like it. So
Well, we're
just-
very open in Ox. They're not like there's some groups that are like only 1/6, like only
exactly.
Yeah.
or like only Marvel or only Star Wars or only DC. We're like if you collect and it's something that makes you happy and it's a toy like Lego, like Marvel Legends,
Shit, or even stamps.
fuck Stan.
You get the fuck out of my house.
Bring up the people. Like,
No, but like whatever you collect, like
In this day and
you
age,
collect guns. Like let's talk about it. Like,
Facebook is very.
well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
true.
saying.
No,
Like,
not guns.
that's true. Whenever you're like selling figures, you can't even put guns in the description anymore.
all accessories.
I tried to post a Lancer for sale a couple of weeks ago, and they said, "Hey, this violates our guidelines." It's like this is not real.
Yeah, Manny had an issue. He was posting a Dwight Hay King, and I think they flagged because of hay. You can't sell like animal products on there.
That's so weird.
Okay.
Which sucks because I was totally looking for a gun the other day and I couldn't find it.
This is like South Texas.
Just walk down the corner.
Not the one I want.
Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Rainer.
I'm Zachary too.
Catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, good show, guys.
Oh, wait, was this supposed to give a shout out?
Oh, do you want to give me a shout? We can do it. I'll cut it in. Or you may just
Yeah, what the
ready?
heck?
3,
I
2,
don't know.
1. Zach, do you have any? Wait.
Zachary.
3,
Blooper
2, 1. Zachary, do you have any shout outs you wanted to give?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all you guys, specifically Zachary, OG, right next to me,
The Golden Boy, baby.
for inviting me.
Bitch boy.
That all rhymed.
No.
But thank you. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Of course.
I enjoyed talking to you guys in the group chat. Feel free to talk to me again in the future. You know, once you do that thing.
It's not personal, but we're going to kick out of the group chat tomorrow. So our contact can remain top secret.
I know how it goes with.
While you have the floor, shout out to Mosquito Lee. He did a run of signed art prints with Hope on the bottom and with his Polaroid shirt. Wonderful guy. I've been talking to one of his associates and kind of making some offers for one of the third signed print. So Mosquito, if you're listening, Get your boy up. I need it for the studio. I need it to go with my lint roller collection.
There you go.
But we'll see. Anyways, I'm Zach. Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it.
God, why do you keep
How many
doing this?
I just need to do one more for the show.
Okay, 3, 2. Jeez.
And also for anybody who's into, to anybody who likes music, my band will be playing at Fitzgerald's on September 12th. If you like bands like Blink-182, New Found Glory.
Fitzgerald's in San Antonio bar?
Yes.
You gotta pay for a plug, man.
Oh, really?
No. It's actually $25 for 30 seconds. So we'll get your PayPal out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Fitzgerald, what day, what time?
September 12th, we'll probably do one of the earlier bands because there's a national band that's going to be closing it out. So probably like 8 or 9. No, I mean, they're cool.
Well, we can say it. It's okay.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
What is their collection?
We're actually an international podcast, so we rank over international. So we can say it.
They're actually the ones who, I think, put us on the show. So
Oh, very cool.
excited for it. Fitzgerald's is a beautiful venue. It's
Oh.
really legit.
Where's it at? Is it
Yeah,
downtown?
what's that?
It's off Blanco.
Blanco's pretty big,
Okay.
man.
I don't want San Antonio, so it's GPS it. But it's nice, and there's a nice pizzeria next to it, and there's a nice Thai food place right there next
What
to
is
it.
September 12th? Is that Saturday? Friday?
It's I think it's a Thursday. Thursday or Friday, one of those.
September 12th, Fitzgerald, San Antonio, Texas. Check us out. Maybe we'll try to post up there.
If you
Are you
guys
sure
want,
it's
What is it? That's a
Fitzgerald?
Thursday.
Are you sure it's Fitzgerald?
yeah, why?
Okay, because
Is it like a rowdy band?
on Blanco, there's a bar called McFinnigan's next to Pizzeria.
Yeah, that's it. McFinnigan's is right there next to Fitzgerald's.
Oh, okay. Then I know exactly where it is. That's Blanco.
Is it a nice place? Like
I
you
can
get
check it.
places to sit?
There are bar stools and there's a
Remember,
bar.
we're charging by the 30 seconds, so the longer you take.
That's Ray's Pizzeria. That's right
Yeah.
there. Badass pizza.
Please. Now you got me confusing myself, dude.
Play the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's bar. I say Texas.
Hey, very cool. Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Rainer.
I'm Zachary too.
Catch you guys on the next episode.
May.
We're gonna double exit interview.
If you're watching the video podcast,
We forgot to record for the first 3 minutes, so that's why it starts in the middle of the podcast. Bye.
Bye. Look like your body.
All right, we'll catch you guys later on the stream. It was good to have a show
Is
with you
anyone
guys.
in there?
Manny and Richard just left.
Oh.